I can't sleep. I went to bed at like 3 o'clock or 3:30 last night, and I don't feel like I've still done Girls Aloud songs. I think there's a few more that I haven't done, but it was too late and I was getting tired. But yeah, I'm thinking about them this morning, and it's just like it's really weird because people who are in narcissistic relationships don't believe that they're in narcissistic relationships, and they try and cover it up and oh, this isn't he's not like that, and then it's just, and then the more they think about it, the more they probably realize that I am in a, I guess a narcissistic relationship is a one-sided relationship, or a relationship where someone cares more about the other person, or it could be where both people are narcissistic. And so I was just bringing these questions to my head, like how narcissistic am I, and am I in a narcissistic relationship? I mean, in a way, I am. I don't know who I'm in a relationship with because I don't know who's watching it, but that is part of a narcissistic like fantasy, to hurt someone, but also to never feel like you're in the wrong. It's always the other person. You're never in the wrong. It's always the other person in the wrong. And something, an example would be like that Big Brother show that got put on, if I'm hurt by it, oh, it's not our fault you're hurt by it. I mean, it's not our fault you want to be on that show. It's not our fault that you've spent 10 years wanting to be on that show and we put it on. It's a show. We do what we want. It's our channel. We do what we want. And it's not our fault you're hurt by this. And that's kind of, that is what narcissists do. They do something with an deliberate intention, knowing that it will cause hurt or grief or pain on someone, but then they try and spin everything round to make out that, oh no, it's not our fault that you feel this way. It's your fault for wanting that, or for, and it's a way. A narcissistic's dream is a dream girl, particularly. So it's not just a narcissistic's relationship. It's about a narcissistic's dream girl. I think that's how you can kind of hide something. You would see these songs are just like, a lot of people might look at these girls and just think, wow, that's a lovely girl, or that girl seems like how I wish my wife was like that. I wish my girlfriend was like that. But then again, that is also exactly the sort of thing a narcissist would think. This is my girlfriend. That is how you should be. And I'm going to put shame or make you feel bad because you're not like that, because that is how you should be. When in reality, it's just like, no, that is you having the sick wish of having a girl that just like does, wants to do your every command or whatever. And I feel like that is a little bit how this band is being. On one hand, they look like dolls. That biology song, I hate that biology song. The way that we talk, the way that we walk, and then they do it in a way that's just like, that's not how women walk and talk. That's a sort of Barbie doll fantasy version of it. I mean, it's fine to be like, if you want to be like a Barbie doll, or Paris Hilton look, that's completely fine. But yeah, you shouldn't do it to impress someone else. You should do it to impress yourself. And I feel like that's the difference between the Paris Hilton thing. Paris Hilton comes that because she's trying to, I guess, get over a past, and try and be a better person and an influence, but a good influence to others. But she's doing it for herself. She's not doing it to impress anyone, and she's got a good relationship, and it's well balanced. And but with these girls, I don't know whose partner they are with or were with. Well, I know Simon Cowell, and yeah, he is definitely a narcissist. He is a narcissist. I mean, if you watch the X Factor and all the things that he says towards people, some of them are very hurtful and some of them aren't true. But he would present it as truth. It was presented as, this is not my fault for having this opinion. This is your fault for being the way you are, and me giving my opinion on how you actually are. So, that's a very narcissistic way of thinking about things. I think if I want to create a fantasy character, or a dream girl based on a narcissist, I think thinking about Simon Cowell and thinking about everything that he would want, would be the way of doing it. But then again, if I'm trying to create a band that is based on a narcissistic dream girl, finding, I don't even know if he's really part of. I didn't actually look on Wikipedia. I feel like this is his band, but because they raised in X Factor and stuff, but and Cheryl Cole dated him, I think. I think that's the story. I can't really remember. I don't follow this band. I never have. But I was aware of these songs. I don't think I saw the music videos to them because I think it was before I started listening to YouTube. But um, just I he is a bit of a narcissist, and I don't like him very much. But at the same time, he's like he's a ponce, but he's like a ponce that you're supposed to exist, that is exposed to exist. So it's almost like he's created a character, and I don't know what he is or like what he's really like as a person, but I know he's created this character as I'm going to say what I want because I'm more intelligent than you are. You know, that's the kind of attitude that he has. And it's an attitude that society has accepted, that if you're a male, it's fine for you to be like that. If you're a female, now that's not fine for you to be like that. But if you're a male and you want to be like that, that's just what males are like. You know, there's some people who generally think that this narcissistic behavior is just what males are like, and I feel like if people believe that you know most males have narcissistic tendencies, which is you know a need to want to hurt your girlfriend or not hurt them, but like to think yourself as being bigger and better than your girlfriend. You know that there's this overall need for guys to be like that, and I feel like maybe the heart or the root of this problem is actually coming from me. Um, and I don't know why a 11 year sacrifice of me has been set up to, you know, get people to ignore me for 11 years or to think that this is acceptable. You know, if I was a guy and you had to ignore a guy for 11 years, I don't think any woman would be fantasizing about that. Oh, let's fantasize about the male that's just lying in bed suffering for 11 years. You know, I don't think women would do that. But then again, the root of the female DNA is more similar to me and knows that you know it's this sex, the female sex that is put through the sacrifice, not the male one. I know Christians think that it is the male one, but Jesus' sacrifice was 3 hours on a cross and a beating before that. I mean, if you look at the society and all the terrible things that have happened, you know, this is a very common sacrifice. A lot of people get beaten up. A lot of people um, are killed on a cross or have been killed on a cross or burnt alive and you know loads and loads of people. You know, I really really want to ask questions. I want to go and have interviews where I talk to Christians about why they think Jesus' sacrifice was worse than a huge number of other people who have been killed. You know, I don't know what they would say to that answer. Oh, he was God. But I know that isn't the sacrifice supposed to be like worse than everyone else's? So why does his life actually just seem kind of average compared to everyone else's? You know, you might say that my life seems average, and you might say that I'm not appreciating what I have. You know, I have a house. There's loads of people that literally don't have houses, but yeah, a lot of these people don't have houses because they've made bad choices. You know, they've chosen to go down the drugs route, or they've chosen to argue with their family, and now their family don't want to help them, or they've stolen off their family and their family have rejected them, or you know, it's not always like that, but a lot of people who are homeless are homeless because of bad choices that they've made, rather than you know thinking, okay, I don't like my family, but I want to save up some money so I can buy a house before I push them away. You know, some people wouldn't go through that sacrifice. They would just be like, no, I'm just going to go and live on sofas instead, and then they find themselves falling into a pit because they can't get a job because they don't look or smell right or whatever. And I don't know, a lot of people end up in a pit because they make bad choices. But I don't know, the more I think about what I'm going through, the more I feel like it is a narcissistic relationship. And it's also probably I might be a dream for a narcissistic person, because there's so many things that hurt me, but I feel like there's people that can write songs and they can be like, oh, we're not doing this to hurt you, we're doing this for you know good reasons. And there is good and bad in everything. You know, I guess there is good in putting on the show Big Brother because it pissed me off, and now we've got some nice angels that have got really dark titles. But of course all this stuff happened, like the ones with the darker titles probably are actually the older ones, hence can't say that they did it in to hurt me in any way. But a narcissist would want to hurt me, and therefore even something like doing the X Factors, I don't watch those talent shows, but if you listen to a lot of the songs, a lot of the songs are about women in pain, getting revenge, a woman trapped. And I think if someone is a narcissist, they like the idea of hurting a loved one or something. And if people think that they like me, and imagine like maybe sleeping in my bed or something. Sometimes I do that with others. I feel lonely, and I would like, I like the idea of hugging someone. Um, and and so the idea of just lying in bed and just thinking, okay, who should I hug? I don't know. Before it was always Martin years ago, but that was definitely a narcissistic relationship, because if he does know about me, or if he did know about me, um, every day he didn't help me, and I'm wondering if he got off on that. And the thing is, the same could be said now that I've given up on him, and the same could be said of anyone who thinks that they like me and yet likes watching these videos, because um, even though I'm giving good information, you can be like, oh, I'm watching it because she's giving good information every now and then, or showing power to influence songs of the past, even though it's kind of like a time capsule warp or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Things I'm doing now is inspiring the past, and maybe the reason why I'm inspiring the past in a certain way is because I'm going through what I'm going through. So you can kind of make out that what I'm going through is something that I need to go through, when really I don't need to go through this at all, because it's not really benefiting me having angels of a narcissist dream. That's having these in the world doesn't really benefit me. I think my higher self likes it because she gets to get a little bit of a revenge on Simon Cowell. But yeah, anyone who's running these talent shows and seeing all the sort of pain, and a lot of the words of the songs are all about, I feel bad, I hate you, and you've done this to me, what are you? And if you're a narcissist, you might listen to these songs, and if you do listen to the songs and collect them to me, you might actually get some sort of thrill or satisfaction from feeling like there's actually truth behind these words. These words might not relate to the person singing them. It's just a song. People like a story to tell, and a song about a broken-hearted girl. I'm just a broken-hearted girl. That's to think that that links to the singer, and then realize that the singer's not really going through that and doesn't actually have a partner. If you do all that, then you can't link it to them. But if you link it to me and think, wait, that all these songs are from this girl suffering, then I turn into a narcissist dream, because it means that if they did things that um, sound like it's me singing, but are good songs, they could make money out of the good songs. They could, gain the publicity and fame, and big themselves up through whatever they're doing. But at the same time, also get a little kick out of the fact that knowing that this is probably actually how I'm feeling at the time that I click on the song. Um, so yeah, I don't want to be a narcissist's dream, but I feel like I am forced to be this, and I could try and deny myself and just be like, oh no, that these singers don't represent me, these singers don't. But I'm thinking about it, and it's just like, maybe they do. I didn't have a relationship when I was younger. One of them was a relationship when they were 16 or something. But yeah, I do have these needs, thinking that I can control things, thinking that I can handle things, thinking that everything is fine, believing I don't need advice. I do have this, but at the same time, it's like, is that actually the truth, or am I actually just like trying to? Am I just suffering because I'm stuck, and I'm kind of keeping myself in a prison because I don't know how to I don't know who to go to, and thinking that I can handle things is probably not necessarily the truth. But anyway, it's another subject. Found this interesting book the other day. Kind of like brings up headlines, but it's got things like this in it. Page Tree Girl, but I found Darla. Hey, she's not very attractive. I don't know if Darla would have had a little bit more of a human face. I think her face was not like that. No, her nose is way too small, but yeah, it's similar to Darla. Darla was a little bit more human than that, but at the same time, that kind of reminded me of Dala. And it's got some interesting. They've got. I was thinking of seeing if I could do anything with it, but they take all the sort of historical, like just historical things that have happened in the past and try and turn it into a headline, which is kind of interesting. Victims of God's wrath. Anyway.